Can take days, even weeks, to produce just a single image. The dazzling final results, enough to keep us all dreaming of the final frontier for years to come.
That's the main purpose of this, to keep you dreaming of the final frontier for years to come. Time-dilating medium isn't real. So, yeah, who cares if it works in the maths or not?
They seem to care.
A mysterious universe.
No doubt. And now Chris Martinez is introducing us to two of the artists behind some of the most iconic space art in the galaxy.
In a small, bright office, working side by side,
Let's see.
Robert Hurt and Tim Pyle bring the universe to life.
So the Astons underneath say, NASA artists paint pictures or picture of other worlds.
Does have real science underlying it.
Robert is an astrophysicist turned artist.
So he's an astrophysicist, and it's got real science behind it. Cut to his Mac.
That's hysterical.
Tim, once a Hollywood animator,
is not backed by science or uses science. Science underlining it. Most wishy-washy, unambiguous link between science and what I've heard.
They then follow it up with, he's an astrophysicist turned artist. So they make the connection or reaffirm the loose connection again.
It's like claiming he used to be a baker, so it's now a combination of cooking and art, because he used to be a baker. It's kind of irrelevant what you used to do. What are you doing now, son?
That's the distinction my 6-year-old managed to fathom. In other words, is he an artist or is he a scientist? He's an artist. Okay. Well, what's his art about? The quote-unquote science of our world.
NASA's most popular images, from renderings of how planets light years away could look to actual photos of stars and galaxies captured by NASA's powerful telescope.
Ooh, hang on a second. This looks suspiciously like a piece of artwork. So this piece of artwork captured the photos for them to make new artwork. Why don't we just have the photos? Let's just have them. From the sky vacuum where this telescope is.
The real photo doesn't exist. All you've got from there is 1011101111111111. That's the data they get, not a picture.
Telescopes.
And this is sort of how it comes to me. And then
Many of those images have a dark, grainy start, but color and light reveal an astonishing glimpse of how the deepest regions of space might appear to the human eye.
How they might appear? Might? Hold on. The night sky is available to my eye. Shockingly. Why do we need you to do this again? What, how the night sky might appear? What, if we imagined it in your space vacuum way? Yeah, because that only exists on this screen, doesn't it?
What I'm trying to do is show people sort of the broader colors that the universe has to offer.
The offer is available to my eye, and you're adding to it and telling me that this is what the universe could have to offer. I see. No, it's just what you're adding to it, what you've decided it has got to offer because you're adding it to it and then offering it to us.
It's a delicate blend of imagination and data.
Of data and imagination. That's pretty much summing it up beautifully, isn't it? That's what the heliocentric deception's all about. A mix of imagination and real data.
Mostly imagination.
In this instance, almost 100%.
Over many drafts to ensure a planet or galaxy's look lines up with the research to make each one as accurate as possible.
So if it's lining up with the research and the research is taking pictures of it, why do the artist renderings need to match up with the research? Just show the photo, then it would match implicitly. It's nonsense. All they have is the artist renderings of these spheres, because that's where they exist, on your television screen only.
I love the challenge. It's kind of like a puzzle to me of trying to create something that looks really cool within the restrictions that were given by the scientists.
Like restrictions given by scientists? You mean the guys who are establishing cause and effect relationship by way of systematic experimentation based on hypotheses that establish a natural phenomena and the cause thereof, if validated correctly? They give you limitations on your artwork, do they? Oh, right. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. Why would any artist have a limitation put upon them by someone who establishes cause and effect relationships, empirically? I don't see why they should impose any limitations on anybody ever, other than the limitations that hypothesis-based systematic experimentation poses to them.
How is it that they're getting the data? Aren't they claiming to have like red waves and blue waves measuring the distance and therefore extrapolating to the prism of color that we see in this world and then transferring those colors to the wavelengths?
No, they're claiming to have photographs from satellites.
That too.
It's to make it look really cool, like he said.
They've already got photos, but we need to pass them off and then negotiate with scientists to see how cool they are.
Yeah, we also have to add the cool factor.
It can take days, even weeks, to produce just a single image. The dazzling final results, enough to keep us all dreaming of the final frontier for years to come.
That's the main purpose of this, to keep you dreaming of the final frontier for years to come. Shout out to Mr. Cheswick. Mr. Cheswick's channel has also got another video. You know what? I'm actually just going to play that too. Why not?
This is starting to get like Globebusters.
Artist concepts is often very important to telling the story. We get a good look at the star.
Another reason we wanted to take this viewpoint is it highlights the fact that there are other exoplanets in the system.
You can see that in our first draft. You can see there's the star in the distance, and you can see the other 4 inner planets.
So get this right, the YouTube algorithm has identified this as damaging to the point where it's got to highlight that the Earth's not flat. It's like, this is a discussion about how they render the globe Earth in the fake images we see. And yet it's got a disclaimer about Earth isn't flat underneath it. There's not even a single mention of flat Earth in this video. Why would you need to disclaim to somebody who watches this that Earth isn't flat when it's detailing how the globe's created in CGI? I mean, I'm shocked that this should need to be here with its Wikipedia entry telling you that Earth's not flat. Surely this would convince you of how spherical Earth is. Look how many spheres there are in it. That was the first
actual image that the scientists got from us. The feedback was that water was way too blue. Yes, it fell within its habitable zone, but it was barely within the habitable zone of the star. Sorry,
barely within the habitable zone. It's in a CGI rendered image. You mean the fantasy that people will envisage when they watch this and see it and have a little article below it about this exoplanet, that which you're fantasizing and creating in CGI is somehow in the habitable / non-habitable zone on the border, so therefore needs more green water. This is how your world's been presented to you people. This is how the wool has been pulled over your eyes. This is how it's done.
What are we listening to?
It's Mr. Cheswick. I'll put a link. Go and subscribe. You know Mr. Cheswick is though, right, Chocolate?
Yeah, it's the guy that used to make the music, right?
Yeah, he still does, yeah.
They've cutted out the old excuse. It is CGI, but it has to be. So a little bit more justification behind why it's CGI. Now this time it's an attempted validation from scientists as to why it's pictures and drawings of things that you've already got pictures of. So the justification is to ask a scientist to make it more scientific, that picture. Does that agree with science, my drawing?
Without the experiment,
well,
it's not science.
Let me just answer him. Well, with the astrophysicist being the artist and it being, confirmed by the scientists who tell him how light or dark it needs to be, I'm pretty convinced at this stage, having heard scientific terms a few times and scientific people's labels a few times, that this is indeed science, Adam. It isn't.
Without the experiment, it's not science. So what did they experiment?
They didn't.
What was the... Okay, so there we go.
So it's art. The art that creates the fantasy world of heliocentrism. That's what they're offering. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you. Smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, hit the thanks button, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.